before your very eyes, to launch themselves as far as they can up that Waterski Jump ramp, to go crazy up that wakeboard motorway. But before we get going into the wakeboarding, it's Waterski Jump, and our very first skier on the water, representing Belarus. And as she takes to the water, let's have a cheer for every single one of you guys. Aliaksandra Danisheuskaya is out on the water to set the pace, to set the bar as high as she possibly can, to pile on the pressure for the rest of the skiers to follow. As I said, we've got 6 of the best. All of them battling it out yesterday to find themselves a place in the final. Amongst these top 6 are the very best of the best. So here's how it rolls. Each of our skiers will get 3 attacks of that jump. 3 attempts to launch themselves as far as they possibly can. It's not just the launching, the landing and the skiing away that is all important too. And to guide us as to how far they are going, our officials here have rather cannily laid out some marker boys, signifying 20 meters, 30, 40, 50, 60 and a 70-meter mark. Now with the very, very slight tailwind that we have at the moment, we are not going to be knocking on the door of any world records today. It is always the case when the longest jumps happen with a very, very slight headwind, giving our skiers that little bit of lift, keeping them in the air that little bit longer. With the tailwind, it makes things longer, yes, but it doesn't keep them up in the air as long as they need to be for those bigger distances. Having said that, we are very, very blessed to be with some amazing conditions to start our day. Fingers crossed. I'm not going to say anything about the old commentators weather because guess right there. Let's talk about that. And let's focus on the action that's about to ensue. Here we go with Aliaksandra from Belarus. She got into the finals of the distance 43.4 meters yesterday. She's on the left-hand side of that 14200 turbo. Listen to the engine rev as it compensates for her putting against it. We are watching out for those marker boys. Oh, it's late. It's late. Right on top of that second marker boy. Planing out wide, keeping that speed, gently placing that right ski down. A gentle turn to maintain that speed, keeps the skis down through. Oh, it's a great first jump. That is what we like to see. Clean, crisp, big old boots up the top of that launch ramp. And a beautiful landing to boot as well. That is exactly how we want to start things off. Now, for those of you joining us and watching Waterski Jumping for the very first time, welcome, welcome. We're glad you can make it. I realise that a good few of you who are here on the shores, our friends, family, supporters, officials, and you've seen this before, I think you'll all agree that it's a great way to get things started. And we are waiting on the very first distance of the gate to come through. Aliaksandra, looking to her coach on the side. Now, if I can recall my old jump skiing translations, I did see a little bit of a wider signal, thumbs pointing in those directions, meaning that skier on the water needs to get a bit wider. I pick on this 3/4 cut, which is the last cut out wide before she slingshots towards the ramp. Now, what we're seeing from Aliaksandra, and what we'll see from most of our jumpers, though we did see some skiers only doing a 3/4 cut yesterday, and it worked well, is a double cut, literally 2 cuts, left, then right, and then back to the ski jump ramp. And the reason they're doing that is to get themselves as wide as they possibly can relative to the turbo. The wider they get, the more of a slingshot effect they get into that ramp, the greater the speed, the greater chance of them going even further. Now, the playoff there is that the faster you are moving at the ramp, well, the more the weight's going to wash around, and the greater the impact, the relative impact in that ramp, with you moving faster at it, so the harder it is to control your position and get in the right position and your skis ready to pop off the top. It also leaves you less time on the ramp to get that explosion, that extension off the ramp back on. So it's a playoff. Do you go harder, do you go faster in order to get the speed, to get your trajectory, or do you go a little bit easier in order to make more certain that you'll be in the right position on the ramp? Well, right out of the gates, Aliaksandra went all out with a super late start. So in case you were wanting to keep up to speed with the live scoring, I have missed out on our first jump distance, but I'll get back to you very shortly with that. Meanwhile, we're straight into jump number 2 for Aliaksandra. How late is she going to go on this second turn point? Inside, just about inside. Looking at the same distance, but pushing it even harder across the weights as she slingshots towards us. Keep it wide. Right hand back to the handle, keep that hand tight. Keeping the skis down. Placing that left ski, I think that was better. Beautiful form. 45.1, thank you very much for the very first jump. That's a distance of 45.1 for the first jump. So already blasting past a prelim round distance of 43.4. All right, let's see what the coach has to say. It's a big old perfect sign. Pretty simple. Pretty simple there. All right, if I can translate for you guys watching on the back, so our coach basically saying, it's the last thing your jump skier wants to hear. Go later. Yeah, let's make it more dangerous. Go later is basically what he's saying. Later on the round means you have to go harder, means you're going to go faster, means you are supposedly going to go further. Oh! We have got the biggest distance of the last couple of days. 49.5. It looked like a beauty, and it was just 50 centimeters off that 50-meter mark. And if she does exactly what her coach here on the shore is saying, go later, go later. Keep it wider here on this side of the three-quarter. Keep that turn slow before the ramp, and just control those skis through the wake. I think was the general interpretation. Or the correct interpretation. So once again, if you guys want to keep up speed with the results as they unfold, we've got live scoring on IWWF and IWWFed-EA.org/competition. Just hit the live results page and you'll be seeing the distances, and likewise you'll be seeing preliminary scores pop up there as well for the wakeboarding, nice and easy, so you can keep up to speed with who is doing what and where they're coming. So we are with the leading score so far. I say leading, she's the first lady of the top, but that is certainly going to be putting pressure on the ladies to follow. Five of the best still left to come. So 2 clean jumps for Aliaksandra Danisheuskaya from Belarus. She's wide. It's about the same place on that first turn. Holding that edge a little wider, I think this time she stays that wide. Now, can she keep that turn slow? You don't want to panic at this stage. She is super late onto the jump. Can she boot it like the others? I'm not sure the connection was there as it was. A super clean feet-to-feet landing. My bets are on that it was the second jump that will be the longest, that 49.5. If my jump eye is on point, that is the only distance that will remain up on the scoreboards on IWWFed. So let's have a big old round of applause for Belarus's Aliaksandra Danisheuskaya for that storming performance. She's got to be happy with that. Okay, we'll wait and see. I don't think that is an improvement. So it was a distance of 44, which means that 49.5 will stand. Oh, it's lucky it doesn't get hot really early over here. Oh. Alrighty then people, 1 jumper down, 5 to go in this women's final, and we move from Belarus to across the Atlantic pond, representing Canada, making it through with a distance of 43.5 meters yesterday. Let's hear it for Taryn Krantz. Alrighty. Might as well do it now while she's disappearing, in case anybody's wondering. We have we have a Balala wakeboard vest and a number 3 bib. So we should be able to narrow that down, shouldn't we? Those pesky hoodlum wakeboarders leaving their stuff everywhere. I don't know. Sell it, sell it. That bib will be worth something. My turn. Oh, so Shota leaving his stuff everywhere, just for everyone to pick up. You know what? If I rode that well, I just let other people take care of my gear as well. We'll be wishing Shota Tezuka, the owner of that jacket and bib, a little later on in the day, making it through the long way round through the last chance qualifiers to join the rest of the riders in the final, alongside Luca Kidd. Those are the 2 riders who made it through in the last chance qualifiers and rounded off proceedings last night. And in the ladies, it was Karian Raima and Wang Jun of China, Germany and China made it to the last chance qualifiers to join the rest of the 4 in that 6-person final. So well done to this young lady. If we get this first jump done and she's still hovering, there's not going to be enough time. So Aliaksandra, I'm going to try and get a word with her very shortly if she's still hovering. While we watch Taryn Grant's first attempt, she's going double top crazy. Conditions looking fairly A on right now for her. Now we can mark how close she is to that second turn, boy, fairly late. Good solid cut, coming off the edge a little bit earlier than we saw from Aliaksandra, which means she won't stay as wide for as long. It's a nice slow turn, it's a control through the weights, it's a good boot. And that is over the 40-meter mark for sure. What are we saying? What are we saying? 48 gets a call from Team Canada, I think there. 48, was that Team Canada? I'm not sure. 48 meters is the call earlier on. I am going to go for a 45.6. 45.6. 45.6, that's my bet. So Team Germany says 48. They've got some confidence in Taryn right there. Now do we have a coach on the shore right here, offering Taryn some advice? 45.2. I win this round. I win this round. 45.2 to start things off for Taryn. So it's a good start. It's a great start. Pretty much similar to the very first jump that we saw from Aliaksandra. Already getting interviews done as we get our following skiers down on the dock. So you guys on the shore, please feel free to make some noise as our skiers come back. Maybe not during their actual jump line, but on the way back, when they're just chilling, needing a little bit of a pick-me-up. Taryn now at the top end, she's going to be waiting. Oh, yes, Aliaksandra, can I have a little chat with you? Wow, what a first jump for you. Straight out the blocks for the 45 meters, better than the previous day. And then that second jump looks so good. How does it feel out there?
It's really nice out there, so I feel like going first and I like it. It was fun.
Happy with your performance with that second jump?
I mean, you always want to do better, and there is stuff that I still need to work on, so. But, I mean, definitely way better than I did.
We were happy watching it. Well done, Aliaksandra. You can relax now. Your job is done. Yeah, when you ask a wakeboarder, a water skier, or any athlete, like, were you happy with that? Generally, they say, well, yeah, but no. There's always room for improvement. Hey, there wouldn't be athletes if they weren't thinking that. What could I do better next time? That's all we're ever thinking. I'm going to throw a we in there, the royal we, because I'm going to throw myself in the bucket of athletes. I suppose I was one once, kind of. I mean, I am still. What are you on about? Here we go with Taryn Grant's second jump. Now, how close is she getting to that second turn, boy? Are we going to see any of our jumpers go after it? Maybe holding the edge a little bit longer that time. Keep that right ski nice and high. Two playing for a little bit longer. Placing it down quite late, those to return. Control through the weights. Placing the ski back down, ready to pop. That is better. I'm calling that as better. So it was 45 there, thereabouts. For the very first jump, I'm going to go 46.8. 46.8 is my call. Oh, that's what we like. A little bit of cheering from the shore. Thank you, people. 44.3. Oh, okay. I thought that so wrong. 44.3 is my first jump. It's still her longest jump. So Karen needing to push things a little bit harder if she is going to set herself up for a top spot at the end of this women's jump final. We've got the men to follow swiftly after we are done, so men, you should be in and around. The Louis Sail Promenade, ready to take part your first round of rock skiing. Unfortunately, we were unable to run the men's prelims yesterday. The conditions were such that it was making it a little bit too dangerous. As if this sport is not dangerous enough, as if they are putting their necks on the line enough. We had a little bit of weather to boot yesterday, in the morning. With a wind behind them, with a bit of chop and swell coming in from the sea. Just made it unskiable. Or unskiable when you're hurting yourself at a ramp 6 foot high in the air. At speeds of in excess of 60 miles an hour, that's when things are unskiable. Here comes Taryn. Now we've got first of her two cuts, a double cut. Oh, it's later. It's after the boy. This is going to be a much, much later approach. She is really pushing it on this. This is her third and final. She has got to give it absolutely everything she's got. I think that's better. She's certainly further forward over the skis. Will that later approach result in more speed, more distance? Potentially a little bit too far forward over the skis as she tried to level herself out coming into that ramp ready to pop. Either way, there is absolutely no doubt that this young lady gave it everything she could. Let's hear it for Canada's Tara Grant as we wait for a final distance. 43.7 for that last jump, so unfortunately there will be no improvement on her first jump score of 45 something. Let me move on from Canada back across to Europe. It is Finland on the water next. So we're at big number 38, getting a distance of 44.9 and a season's best of 52.2. We have all the way from Finland. Let's hear it for Jutta MENESTRINA. Yes, love the showmanship fist pump in the air. Just get the crowd behind you. That's what we like. A little bit of interaction between skiers and crowd. That's what we like, Team Canada. Nice bit of solidarity for your crew. Canada, always big players in the world of water skiing. we have on the water right now? We know the name, but what's the bio? 2 times world silver jump champion back in 2013, 2015. We were master jump champion a little while ago as well. 2 times European silver, 4 times European bronze. This girl has got some accolades under her belt, so no stranger to the high caliber of competition that we have right here and now. One of our more experienced competitors out there at the age of 32. She's been around a lot, been there, done that in the world of water skiing. So Jutta MENESTRINA now wanting to add to that mantle piece of silverware with, as well as her first ever, the first ever Waterski Jump title of an ANOC World Beach Games. So like with the Olympics, the ANOC World Beach Games is going every 4 years, just interspersed between the actual Olympics. 2015 was the inaugural event, the second ever here in Qatar. Once again, we cannot thank the Qataris enough for, let's face it, putting this together in a very short space of time and stepping onto the plate. Yes, Mr. Hazelwood, you ready? Good. Did you get some Baskin Robbins last night in preparation? Yes, you did. Good lad. Oh, the donuts are available. Here we go with Jutta. How late is she going to go on that turn buoy? Oh, straight at it. At the block, she is not holding back. This is nice and wide. Right up close and personal to us as she makes that slow turn. Right hand back of the handle. Drops the hand with that right ski. Controls it, giving it around. Plants the left ski boots. It's a good one to start. Yes, it is. 20, 30, 40. Oh, it's going to be way past the 40 mark. Obviously, from where we are stood, we are behind where she's landing. Right, you forget the kitchen sink. Nettles, alright, alright. Oh, exciting. Silverware's just arrived. Okay, who is on the shore? So, Jutta. Wider, wider, wider. Draw the hammer on that edge. And you know what? If I was jump skiing, I would want a blind king giving me advice as well. Just missing the beard, I don't know what happened there. Obviously, you had a formal occasion before you came here. Sort it out next time, okay, please? Oh, 48.7 for Jutta MENESTRINA. It was a good jump. It looked like a good jump, and that it was. 48.7. So, as a very, very first jump, that is way, way, way out in front compared with what we have seen before in the qualifying rounds. And those first 2 jumps of our first 2 ladies, Aliaksandra and Taryn, both coming out with around 45 meters. And Jutta just exploding off that ramp into a jump of 48 plus. So wider, wider was the word from the shore. Just get a little bit more width on most of those cuts. They'll cut down the 3/4 cut. Once again, with a wider position relative to the ski topo, that beautiful Naughty 200. The slingshot effect is enhanced. Greater speed can translate into greater distance, but as we're talking about at the top of this competition, that can sometimes sacrifice form off the ramp, form through the waves, forming that cut. As the pressures, as the intensity, as the G increases with the speed, it is much, much harder to hold your form and get your timing right. Wasn't an issue on the very first jump for Jutta, turning super late. So the reason I keep using those marker buoys is exactly the same reason that they are out there for our jump skiers. They are using those marker buoys to determine how late or early they are making their approach to this ramp. They need something to gauge where they are on the course, on the lead up, on the run into the ramp, and that's exactly what those 2 3 buoys are there for. I'm going to use buoy for my international friends. It's a boy, by the way. It's late again. She just plows to bleed the speed. Big old turn, holding that edge a little bit harder. Responding with what coach says with greater width. This is way, way later. Oh, she's late onto the ramp. Can she hold the form? Yes, she can. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking that is at least in the same ballpark, if not a little bit longer. Knocking on the door of this benchmark of 50 meters, which is what we're wanting to see from our skiers. What are we saying, coach? Better? Better? Yes, that's an affirmative. So she certainly went later, she certainly went wider. And even though the pressures were more intense because of those facts, she held her form on the ramp. So I think more of the same from her coach was the general interpretation there. Oh, 48.4. So it was around the same place, 48.4 for Jutta MENESTRINA. 30 centimeters less. So and that's whisker when we're talking about distances that these guys are traveling, not much at all. So obviously, the approach was great, not quite getting that connection. I keep talking about the connection with the ramp. I mean, exploding, extending hard at exactly the right time on the ramp, which is basically as late as can possibly be. You don't want to be booting halfway up the ramp, you kick yourself out the front. You don't want to be booting after you leave the ramp, because obviously you're just kicking against there. And you need to have your weight in just the right positions. A centimetre too far forward, a centimetre too far back. And that boot will be ineffective at best, at worst, and in tears before bedtime. So Jutta just up on the back of the board of the competition towboat. Sorting something out with the skis, I'm assuming. It was a clean jump. She should be all in one piece, we hope so anyway. This is the, usually within jump ski competitions, if a skier lands the jump, they'll just get straight back into the preceding jump. No waiting around, so here in this competition, they're actually getting a chance to get their breath back, get themselves in the zone. I guess for some skiers, that may actually be a benefit. For some skiers, they might just want to keep on charging through. If your special bar is up, you want to stay with that flow. You don't want any break in proceedings at all. Here we go again. We have got Janana Bodeman from Germany up next. But before her, one more jump from Jutta MENESTRINA of Finland. She is going to be getting going with a double cut out the left-hand side of that towboat. Let's see how far she pushed it relative to that second turn buoy on the left-hand side of the ski boat. Here she goes, hard cut on the right-hand edge. Just keeping that ski nice and high to keep the plane speed up. A little bit of a plow to slow her down, making the turn happen. All the way down the left ski as she comes across. A little bit of a pressure to keep her wide again. Slight zigzag to stay wide. Here she goes. Can we get that boot? I think so. Oh, it's so hard to tell. It is in the same ballpark. That is super, super consistent from Jutta. There was no fist pump for celebration right there. Generally, coaches on the side and skiers know when they've gone that little bit further. So we're going to hazard a guess at it being around the 48, 49. The distance to beat is 49.5. Either way, amazing, consistent, solid jumping from the Finnish lady. Let's give it up for Jutta MENESTRINA. Oh, it was a 49.3 for Jutta, putting her firmly in second place and just 20 centimeters off so close off the top spot. But that is a good distance. I'll translate. I think she went sugar, is what she probably said. Finnish. So well done to her and the Finnish team. What a performance. It was that little bit further in the ballpark. Sitting her in second place. Now, aside from the fact that I'm sure she would rather be sitting in first place right now, of course she would, that's fairly obvious. Nice one, Captain Obvious. That does put the pressure on the rest of the skiers to follow. That was a great jump. All right, let's move on to the young lady who exploded midway through the preliminary rounds with a big old distance of 45. Let's hear it for Germany's Janina Bodeman. So 45 depth was what got her into this finals. She went out halfway through the preliminary rounds. A little bit of carving around, jumping those wakes just to get herself dialed in. So who do we have on the water other than the former Germany's Jutta MENESTRINA, and she is a this occupation sport soldier. What occupation do you have? Does that mean she's actually serving in the army or something? I'm not sure. Riding, skiing, 20 years. So she's been on the water since she was 5 years old, and at her age of 25 years old on the World Best. And as well as jump skiing credentials, she is rather canny at the rest of the disciplines under tournament water skiing. Third at the 2019 Worlds in tricks. Third overall, where slalom and trick and jump are all combined to give a score. In the 2015 Worlds, European champion 2019 trick and overall. Under 20 world overall total record holder 2015. All the national records. She's just written all the national records in Germany. You name one, she's got it. Here she comes, Jelena, for her very first jump of 3. Now where is she going to pick herself? In amongst these two temporaries, she's going to be going a little bit earlier. Sorry, no, later. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong boys then. That was super late. After the second turboy, right in front of us now. Keeping that line tight, keeping that tension and skis under control. It's good. She gets so far forward on those skis. Jutta. Oh, that is frustration on that face. It is. Of course, you were that close to the top spot. How were you feeling out there? Did it feel like you had it in you to go that little bit further?
Yeah, you saw it. I missed the kick.
Missed the kick just a little bit, but great form. Just talking more general terms, what is it like being here in Qatar and the ANOC World Beach Games for you guys and for Waterski Jumping?
It's been, I mean, it's like I really work. You can tell we're going far.
You are still here, you get to kick back and watch now. Well done, user, it was a pleasure to watch. Obviously a little bit frustrated at not going that bit further. 47.5 for Junior's very first jump, 47.5. So, the girls are going far, much further than they were going yesterday. The conditions are A-OK today for some big distances. The usual respite at the top end, to the far left hand end of this jump ski course. For Jelena, great first distance of 47. That's good to get a distance on the board. It's not going to be enough. We're hazarding a guess at this stage. She is our 4th lady out, so just 2 ladies to follow. If she gets a distance of 49.6 or more, she will be on the podium for sure. It's guaranteed. The leading distance is 49.5. Followed by a 49.3 from Jutta MENESTRINA. So that is our top 2 spots at the moment. Here comes Jelena once again, taking that leg turn after the turn move. Can she get the connection right at the top of the ramp? I think so. It was better. It was better. I'm going to put my money on the table and say that was just a little bit better. I'm not sure whether it's distance of 49. You can just tell when the pop is right. It feels like she's just a little bit too far forward over the skis for the pop to go up as much as it's going forward. So is that going to be an improvement? Once again, folks, if you want to keep up speed with the scores. So it was a better distance, that's for sure. 48.4 for Janina on that second jump. Team Germany like a little bit of that. Those distances are going in the right direction. Further and further away from the ramp is the direction they need to be going. Oh man, watching this jump skiing, it makes me want to have a go again. It's been a long time since I've been around. But I did enjoy it. You remember the days, Richie? European Junior Waterskiing Jump Champion, 2015, boom, 2014. Then obviously jump ship. Still claiming it. That and European Junior Wakeboard Champion, 99. Those are the two things I'm holding on to in life. Wasn't that long ago. Gosh, as if his looks can't get any better, that top knot is just something to behold. Here we go with Janina's third and final. We're about to move on to our penultimate skier in this women's jump Waterski final. So for the crew that we've got here on the shores watching this, thank you so much for coming along. Make sure you make some noise after our skier gets this third and final jump underway. Here comes Janina right in front of us, whipping out across for the final of her two double cuts. It's looking a bit later. Beautiful turn. Can she get the connection she needs? Oh, it does look like it. I'm going to have to guess at that being that little bit further, and she is not far off that target distance of 49.5. We're waiting for the scores to come through, the distances rather, and as they do, can we welcome back to the shores after 3 completed beautiful jumps from our German skier, Janina Bonnemann. Nice work, Team Germany, nice work. Okay, we get confirmation. So, it looked good, it was in the same ballpark, but it is not quite the distance she was after. 47.7 meters for Janina, which means for the young lady out in front, Aliaksandra Danisheuskaya is now guaranteed a medal position. At the moment, we have got Jutta MENESTRINA sitting in second place. She is on the cusp with just 2 skiers left. So congratulations. Oh, let's hear it for our next skier on the water. From Belarus, Hanna STRALTSOVA. Our top seed running into this competition with a season's best distance of 55.5 1. Currently taking the second position, second place, the silver medal at the 2019 World Championships. Second overall as well, second at the 2018, sorry, third at the 2018 and 2019 Masters Jump Ski competition, that seminal blue ribbon event. So this lady comes into this competition with all the momentum, all the form behind her. We're on to our penultimate skier in this women's jump final. And the men need to be getting themselves ready. Felix Blomqvist, Rob Hazelwood, and Jimin Jung need to get yourselves ready. You're going to be our first skiers off the dock, our first 3. Like that, a bit of Greek decoration at the rocks. Good work, sir. Here we go with the first jump of 3 for Hanna STRALTSOVA of Belarus. All of our skiers turning late on that first double cut. Oh, it's a good first jump. It really is. Now that is definitely going to be in the ballpark of 47, 48, maybe a little bit further. I'm going to hazard a guess, at least 48 meters. Now, where's her coach on the shore? Is anyone out there giving her a few tips? Waiting for a distance to come through for Hanna STRALTSOVA. Okay, there's her coach. Okay, so a little under the benchmark right now, 46.9 for Hanna STRALTSOVA. So not the biggest first jump so far in this competition. We've had girls come out of the blocks firing a little bit harder. But we know Hanna has the form. We know it's got her in her. She qualifying into this final in second place, hence being the second to last off the dock. Just one more skier left to go in this women's final. We'll be moving straight on to the men's final as well. And then straight after that, it will be the awards ceremony for this Waterski Jump competition here at the ANOC World Beach Games, Qatar 2019. It's good to have so many of you turning out nice and early. Just totally skiving work. Great choice. So those of you sitting just to the edge of the Riders Official Enclosure on this rather perfect promenade for viewing this water skiing and wakeboarding, it's like this was purpose-built for the sports that you are seeing here today. Thank you so much for turning up nice and early. We really appreciate it. For you joining us instead of working, I mean, there's no real choice there, is there? Why would you go to work when you can sit here watching this with us? So good work, you lots. Make your presence known in the form of a lot of tonsil rattling, that's noise. And a lot of putting your hands together repeatedly in quick succession, that's clapping. Even stomping your feet and doing a little jig, it all counts. Here we go with Hanna STRALTSOVA of Belarus' second jump. 46 meters was thereabouts her first jump. She needs an improvement on that. She needs 3 meters on top of that. 3 meters is no small distance. She's late on that second turn buoy. Slingshotting across the wake, we hear that naughty 200 rev to keep up with the resistance from Hanna as she powers from side to side. She's late once again coming into the ramp, getting skis down. I think that was a little bit of a late kick. Is that mum? Is that mum taking care of kids there with the biog? Brilliant. So if any of you guys have not yet filled out your biog, i.e. that little bit of information that helps me know a little bit more about you so I can tell the people out there that bit more about you. Okay, so it's an improvement going in the right direction, 47.9 for the second jump. Okay, wider, 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 the coach is saying. Keep that ski a little higher, a little bit wider, a little bit later. So in order for our skiers to get wider, they just need to resist the boat even harder through that inside edge of that inside ski and hold that edge that little bit longer. There's a point at which holding your edge wide of the boat does not actually help, it actually just slows you down. But drive a little bit harder with that ski to get that bit wider on both those double cuts. The greater the width, the greater that slingshot effect. That slingshot effect is creating G forces in excess of 3G as they move from side to side. And while the boat speed is sitting at a constant 33 miles an hour for the ladies, 35 miles an hour for the men. The speed generated as our skiers move from side to side, well in excess of 50 miles an hour, knocking on the door at 60 miles an hour. With a super long line that they are running 23 meters for both the ladies and the girls, that just enhances the slingshot effect. You get more of a whipping effect as you move from side to side. And these big old skis, big skis, now in the region of 80, 90 inches long, give a much greater planing surface, much bigger wingtips out front to generate that lift as they are leaning forward over the skis. Exactly the same as you would see for our frozen water counterparts, those guys doing the same thing on the snow on those big old launch ramps. Our alpine brethren launching themselves forward to generate that lift through the torso and through the skis. What we can also do with water skiing is, because our skis are much wider, is offer that little bit more lift through those skis as well as the wind pushes up. Hence a headwind being the ideal for jump water skiing. Hanna STRALTSOVA, another youngster, just 25 years old. Get that 25 years on the planet, 7 years of actual ski jumping experience, proved dividends right here and now for her third and final. Here she comes in hard. Is she gonna get that connection? It's better, that is for sure. Oh. Always good to have a look at the teammates on the shore to gauge how good that was. What are we saying, Rob Hazelwood? Further? It was a good kick, says Rob Hazelwood. He kind of knows what he's looking at, so I'll go with his judgment. I'm saying it is an improvement for sure. Let's hear it for Hanna STRALTSOVA. 3 incredible jumps right there. That third and final, definitely the best. We wait to see. Oh, she's on the leaderboard at least. That is a 49.0 for Hanna STRALTSOVA. Well done to her. Thank you, people, for putting your hands together. It makes all the difference in getting behind each of our skiers. Okay, so what does that mean in terms of how things are shaping up right here and now? What it means is, with just one skier left, the ski from Greece, Aliaksandra Danisheuskaya, still sitting out in front with that 49.5. She is guaranteed a silver medal place at least. Then Jutta MENESTRINA guaranteed a bronze medal at least. What can Marie Vimpreniatsova of Greece come up with? Give it up for Marie Vimpreniatsova of Greece as she takes to the water. Our final skier in this women's jump water ski final. Qualifying in third place, hence her taking off the dog last. She has got a distance of 49.5 to beat if she wants to take the top spot, and a distance of 49.0 from Hanna STRALTSOVA if she wants to get herself onto the podium in that third place bronze position. So Hanna right now on the bubble. It's a hive of activity down here in and around the officials' tent as we get prepared for the first of our award ceremonies, the Waterski Jump competition. We can see our men, our first two skiers, Felix Blomqvist and Rob Hazelwood on the dock, ready to go. And here we have the very first jump of our final skier, Marie Vimpreniatsova. She's laid on her second buoy. That's kind of standard now for this finals. Holding that edge super long. This is going to be late. Oh yeah, this is late for her very first jump. What's Marie got? Oh, it's a goal! There was some bum twitching right then, from me at least, I don't know about anybody else. She was right on the cusp. So close to just being that little bit too far forward, and you don't want to know what happens when that is the case. But that is exactly where our skiers have to sit, on a nice edge, and they're pushing the limit as far as possible in jump skiing. That is a good distance to start things off. She went so late. All right, who is coaching this young lady on the shore? Looking out for her coach. Where are we looking? Oh, it is a good distance, 48.3 for Marie to get her finals contest rolling. 48.3. It is not enough to get her on the podium yet, but it is certainly one of the longest distances for our first jumps. We had a 48.7 from Jutta MENESTRINA as her first jump. So Team Greece there, right on the shore, watching with bated breath as their girl is out there doing it for the homeland. And we have many other tense athletes and respective teammates and compatriots waiting on the shore to see how their skiers fare in this women's jump final. Marie certainly didn't hold back on that very first jump. She was super late, so where everyone stood is kind of in the same... Here comes Marie for her second jump of 3. It was a great first hit. Sitting in 4th place right now. Nice and wide, smooth approach, landing on that one ski. Doesn't bleed the speed, she's happy with where she is. Super wide again, this is looking great. Smooth turn is what's needed, holding that edge hard. Can she get the connection? It was good again, but I'm not sure it was an improvement. It wasn't the explosive pop that we did potentially see on that very first jump. I'm going to go around the 47, 48 there. What are we saying, team? What are we saying? 46, Gerard, no confidence. 47.4 for effects. I think that's quite a good bet. I was going to go for that very number. We'll go 47.5 then. 47.5, wow, actually on the money. So it's a little bit less than her very first jump, 47.5 on that, so we called it right. Not quite the pop and piling on the pressure for this very final jump. So this will be the difference between a podium spot and a not for Hanna STRALTSOVA. It is that distance, that benchmark of 49.0 from Hanna STRALTSOVA, which is holding on to the bronze position right now. So Marie opting to go a little bit earlier on that jump. But not an improvement on her current longest distance of 48.3. So here it is, folks, the final skier with her final jump of this women's jump final. Team Greece on the water right now in the form of Marie Vimprenitsova. Looking to push past, at the very least, 49.0 to get herself onto the podium. It's a turn in about the same place right now. Awesome cut across the way. She drives hard, staying wide. A nice slow turn coming into the ramp. She needs to be in the right position right here. She is. I think it's going to be better. Is it going to be enough? So we sit tight on that score. This is the decision between a podium position and a not. For Marie Vimprenitsova, qualifying in first place into this final with a distance of 47.9 yesterday. She's improved upon that. Will there be a further improvement? There will not. So let's give it up for Marie Vimprenitsova. So that will be a confirmed 4th place for Marine, which means a big congratulations to our very first jumper out of the blocks. After all 6 have gone, the longest distance of the final 4-hour women's jump is 49.5. This is unofficial, of course. We wait for our actual official to confirm this and the placings. But it is looking like it is a Belarus top spot for Aliaksandra Danisheuskaya.